Hey, it's your girl Dominique.
And your boy Julius.
And we're back, what? At it again, baby. Alright guys, we want to welcome you to our second show. We had such an amazing time doing the first show, and we got some really great feedback. We got a couple of subscribers, so thank you.
Keep it coming.
Yes, so we really want to welcome you guys to the Glamroom. That's really what we're here, what we're about. We're about that fashion, baby, them looks, that mug. Okay, get into the mug, girl. Show them that mug, honey.
Okay, then.
Yes, okay. But anywho, so we're here and we're just ready to have a good time. So how was your week?
My week was good. It was a good week. It was long, work and life, right? But overall, it was a good week. How about you?
No, that's good. My week went by super quick, which is always a good thing. But I noticed like it's been going by so quick, like quicker now. Like I don't know if it's because I'm getting older.
Probably.
You tried it.
Just saying.
Well, girl, you right there with me, so your day should be zooming by, sweetie.
Not really. I wish.
But for me, the day just seems like it's going by so quick. But I thank Lord that it is, because we get to be back here with you guys. And that's what we love to do.
Right.
But I'm glad you had a good week. But, I was just thinking a lot this week about, like, my family and stuff. And really what happened to me is one of my cousins, like, we've been friends on Facebook for a while now. But we really just kind of started reconnecting.
Okay.
So what my thought process was how are we so different? Like, how is our family different when we're younger versus when we're older? You know what I mean? And how do you like, if you go so long without really talking to people, how do you connect? Like, you know what I'm saying? As an adult, because we're not the same people we were when we were younger. You know what I mean? Like, I remember my family. I used to love my family, although they used to like get on me all the time, like, because I was bigger, and they were like, oh, you wear sheets and stuff for shirts. It's funny, it's all love or whatever, but my family was so close. And I find now that I don't talk to them like I want to. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know if it's because the older generations, God rest their souls, are not here anymore, and those were the people that were
the glue.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, my grandmother was the one that just passed away. Actually, my auntie just passed recently, but her and my grandmother were like best friends. Mm-hmm. And I can remember, her coming down and staying with my grandma for like 2 weeks, and honey, we'd be in an hour as a kid. I'd be in the floor with them shucking, I'm from the country, so we would shell beans, you know what I'm saying? While they watching the stores, we shelling beans. And right, well, I'm quite sure your grandma, because your grandma is from the country too, honey. So
not really.
Well, my family's country, and I love every bit of it.
Wrong with that.
No. So
my dad's mom is from the country, so country, but my mom's mom is not. So
okay,
yeah.
Well, I just want to figure out, how do we connect as adults? You know what I'm saying? Me and my cousin, we're pretty much now, we're talking every day, and he has his own podcast that he's doing, which you guys got to check it out, and I will be putting a link into the profile, and it's really good. But it's like, we're really connected, and I don't know if it's because now that we're doing this, it's like, is that the link that connected us?
It could be the link that connects y'all. Something that y'all both have in common. I think that it is important to just find the common ground that you both have, right? Mm-hmm. And then I think that'll lead to all the good times that y'all had in the past, and building a future going forward.
Well, the thing about it with this particular cousin, and this cousin was on my dad's side. Okay. And I'm not as close to my father's side as I am to my mom's side, which is weird, you know what I mean, all in its own, just because I'm like,
I don't think that's weird. I think that's usually the case. Usually the children are closer to the mom, and not always, right? But usually the kids are closer to the mom because the dad usually leaves his house, his family, his mom, his dad, and then he clings to his wife's side of the family. So normally that's the case. I know that that's the case with me. I'm more comfortable around my mom's side of the family. I am more familiar with my mom's side of the family, and so that's how it works.
That's how it works out. I mean, I guess I miss my family, I think, a lot of times. And I think when we met, that was one of the big things that drew me towards you as well. It's like, I saw your family and I was like, they just like my family. You know what I'm saying? It's like the closeness, the cookouts, the only thing that we probably didn't do that y'all do is the family vacations. Like, we never did that. But
my family swears, let me tell you. Always.
But
if you ain't there, it's a problem.
It's a problem.
Okay.
And they're gonna talk about it.
And they're gonna talk about you,
right?
Too. Okay.
But it hurts my feelings a little bit, and it's not just on them; it's on me as well. But I think because I've hardened myself you know what I mean? Like, I'm just hardened to certain feelings now that I don't know how to.
I think that the biggest thing from what I'm hearing and what I'm taking away from what you're saying is basically, I think that if it's something that you're missing and you had it before and it's not there now, I think that maybe you should be the glue. Maybe you should be the one that reaches out to your family and try to create with the newer generation people, or cousins and all of that.
But I've done that though. Like, I've had the house where I said, "Oh, y'all come. I have a cookout. I got it. I just want y'all to show it." You remember when we had even when we had Chloe's birthday party? You know what I mean?
It was a lot of y'all there.
Yeah, but how many years ago was that? You know what I mean? So
somebody has to be actively doing it, and if nobody is, if nobody's putting in the time and nobody cares, then it really, honestly, it goes by the wayside. Life is life, and life is busy, and so I don't think it's that your family doesn't care or anything like that. I just think that life happens and it's busy, and if no particular person makes that a priority, it's not going to be a priority, and it's sad in a way. And you're right, because family, you feel like, should be there through thick and thin all the time. If you can't depend on anybody, you could depend on your family, but it is true, when you lose people who are the glue, sometimes it's hard to bring it back together again. But it can be, and maybe that should be you.
I mean, or
you.
I am a rather amazing fun person.
Okay.
I mean, let's be real. I am the glue that is she. But I mean, I guess I'll be the one that will try to take the reins going forward. And I love the fact, but you know what, but I can say it was honestly really my cousin on my father's side who really kind of reached out, and what touched my spirit and my soul is because he sees the journey that I'm going through now, and he was just like, I mean, because he reached out to me about some other stuff, and then we kind of just got talking, and I was just like, it's hard, for one, I haven't seen that side of the family in so long. And then now, not on top of me, being a part of the LGBTQIA plus community, plus now I'm in, I'm a transgender woman, you know what I mean? Which is also a part of that, but it's like a second coming out.
Right.
So I feel like, oh God, like that's even more. But what he said, at the end of the day, he said, I'm gonna love you regardless. He was like, I don't care what nobody say, I'm gonna go hard for you. He was like, yo, just let me know what your pronouns is, and I got you.
I love that.
Family or not, if anybody trying to come for you, I got you. And I was like, yo, you know what? That's what it's about for me.
It's acceptance.
It really is. And ever since then, and I mean, he even asked about you. He was like, oh, what's your partner, husband, fiance's name, blah 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 blah. And I was like, yo, but I told him your name or whatever. He even watched our show, and he was like, he was waiting for you to sing, just to bring it back around. I told y'all, I'm trying to get him
to
vocalize, but it just makes me feel loved. in a way that...
Well, you are loved, and I think that I don't necessarily feel that it's everybody else. I think that the comfortability has to come from you, right?
Yeah.
Within you. And I'm comfortable enough. This is who I am. This is how I am. Mm-hmm. Accept me for who I am, right? And present yourself to the family. It is what it is, right? Either they take it or they leave it. And hopefully they will accept you for who you are, how you are. And then you just keep it moving. I mean, that's it. And you try to build relationships because that's what it's all about. It's about the relationship that you have with each and every one of your family members. And so I think that you should attempt to be the glue. Maybe it'll be you. Maybe it'll be your other cousin or your brother or somebody. I don't know. But
speaking of that, how do you feel about like people supporting you and family, friends, and I mean in life and what you got going on in your business? Because I say that because when you said like, you know, your brother or whatever, because there's certain people like, you know, when I first came out, my brother had an issue with me being gay, and rightfully so because I'm his younger. You know, I'm the baby of the family, and he felt. So I think it's almost like because he was kind of like a parent. Because me and my dad wasn't really close. We weren't close until you kind of came into the picture. But he looked at me like a son at that time because he didn't really know. So he took it a little hard, but when I came to him and I told him that I'm transitioning into a woman, he was surprisingly so supportive. Mm-hmm. And to the point where it really brought me to tears because I just, like, when I say that was the person that I thought out of everybody that I would have the worst time with was him, but he was just like, I got you, I love you.
So are we talking about just support in general? Or are we talking about support and being? I
want to say support in your business, your support in your life, and support in just in everyday general stuff. Because what I find also is I mostly get more support from people outside of my family than I do my own family. You get what I'm saying? We have a couple of businesses, and we don't get any support from my people, not from yours, but from mine.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say. I think that a lot of times you do receive support from, my phone is going off. That's terrible. I apologize, y'all. I think a lot of times we do receive. I think it goes back to the first episode when it comes to expectations, right? Mm-hmm. Our expectation is that our family is automatically going to support everything that we do because they're our family, and that's not always the case. They can be aware, they can know what's going on, and they can watch from afar, but not always do they support. And what I find is that a lot of times we don't. And even to me, this is my opinion, in the Black community, African American community, we don't support each other the way that other cultures and people, they support one another. We kind of are on the or in the background trying to watch and see what she got going on, what he got going on. So y'all see what he doing, what she doing. Right.
So do you think it's because they don't want you to surpass where they're at, or you know what I mean? Like, what do you think is the reason for the lack of support?
I don't know, but it's always been it's always been an issue. It's always been an issue. It's like they always compared it to, what is it, the crabs or the lobsters and the
crabs in a barrel.
Crabs in a barrel. So it's always been like that. It's like when we see one person going up, we got to try to snatch them down and pull them down. And so I don't know if it's we don't want to see you win. We don't want to see you become better than us. I hope that that's not the case, because I'm like, you never know where your blessings are going to come from, and it could be somebody climbed up here and now they're pulling you up with them. So
I feel like that's how it should always be. Like,
absolutely.
If I'm here and
you reach back.
Yeah, you reach back because I'm like, especially your family, and when I say family, because you don't get to pick your family, but even your friends, because you can pick your friends, which will turn into your family,
right?
And so you can bring them with you on a journey. You know what I mean? But that also goes back to, like we were saying before, like not everybody's meant to go where you're going,
right?
But how do you? Like how you know, it's like so much, because it's like I want to support, because I'm always gonna support. Like I have people that if I see you doing stuff, I'm sharing it. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not the people that's on my social media platform, you know, reacts to it or not, but I'm gonna support. I'm gonna show you that I got your back no matter what you trying to do.
That's a beautiful thing.
But it's never reciprocated. So at this point, the Scorpio in me is like, oh, you don't want to support me?
No. And I'm always going to tell you, I'm like Michelle Obama, honey. When they go low, you go high, right? And
when they go low, I go to hell.
No. You're not going to be like Candace. Was that Candace?
Yes, it was, honey. That's my girl. I got you, Candace, boo. I love you.
Was that Candace?
Yes.
No, it's Candace.
Yes, honey. It was Candace, because you know she said that when they go low, I go to hell. Because then I think it was her, because they was talking. Well, girl, if it wants you, you got it now. You got the juice now.
No, I feel like it was somebody else. I'm not sure, but it don't matter.
Leave it
in the comments. Get us together, because we watch all these reality shows, which honestly brings me to a show that we are like fanatics of,
big advocates of. Like I am a big advocate.
Well, me too, then, girl. I'm there with you. It's RuPaul's Drag Race. Okay, we have watched
your engines.
Yes, we have watched every season from the beginning. We've rewatched the seasons.
Well, we had to rewatch it because. When
I was already on it.
It's been on for 15 years. She actually just hit her 200 episodes, so congratulations to you. Congratulations.
Yeah.
But when we met, like, you know, I still was in my journey.
Yeah. And I was he was
already on them streets.
In them streets, baby.
Streets. So he put me on the RuPaul game, and he was like, yo, we're going to go back and watch them all again. And now I be knowing people names. And he was like, I don't even get how you know all this, but I know.
She remembers all the queens' names. I don't. But there was one story on last night's episode, and I encourage you all to really watch it and to just get into it. It's entertainment. It's a little bit of fashion. It's some of everything.
A lot of fashion.
Yeah, it's a lot of fashion. It's a lot of everything. But last night's episode, which came on MTV. On MTV was Anitra, and Anitra was telling about her coming out story, and her coming out story was basically her mom came to her and was like, hey, or him came to him, and was like, I know that you're gay and it's okay for you to come out and be who you are. And so she was like, ooh, like she processed it for a minute, and then she came out to her family and all that stuff. And then about a week later, her mom was like, you know what, you're making everybody in the house uncomfortable. You have to leave the house. And she had to leave without saying, leave.
The whole house,
without saying bye to her siblings, without, you know, just anything. She just had to go. The one plus to the story was that she reconnected with her biological father, who she had a rough patch with or had no relationship with. And it just really touched my heart, because I oftentimes hear, and I've experienced, not personally, because for me, my family has always been very accepting of who I am and who I bring around, my friends, and all of those things. And so I never had to really hide who I was. I never had to hear at home, you know, put a little bass in your voice. You need to be a little bit more masculine. Stop being so... You know, whatever people experience, I never had to do that, and for that I am so very grateful for my family. It put a confidence in me so that when I was able to walk out the doors of my house, I could be who I am and be comfortable with who I am and love who I am, because the world is already
I didn't get negativity, you know what I mean? My mother always said, if you know, be who you are. If you're gay, be gay or whatever. But I think it's a harsh reality too, because even when I did, you know, to my mom, I was 16, and it's gonna always stick with me. You know, I remember calling her because I met this guy. I had graduated high school, went on to be a culinary specialist, went to John Port, and I met this guy, and it was like, okay, you know, and I called my mom, and I was like, well, Mom, I think I'm gay. All the while knowing I'm really gay, you know what I'm saying?
Gay as a good.
Girl, gay. You know what I mean? And, you know, her first thing was, how do you know? Because you haven't been with a person sexually. And not to say that I feel like that was the wrong way to approach it, you know what I mean? I wish it could have been more approached with, I got you, if that is the case. You know what I'm saying? Like how you said, you know, you didn't have to worry about those things, because really in my family, really until me and maybe one of my cousins, I'm not gonna say, but I don't think we've never had a person out.
Or you never had, probably out. You never had a person
I don't know
out.
what they did behind closed doors, but out, we've never had.
The key.
Yeah, I am the pioneer, honey. She is the leader of the pack. She does so many things first, honey. People just be following. Look, that's another story. But I get what you're saying about the confidence, because I didn't have the confidence I have today. She didn't have. No, it didn't come from She did not have that confidence. Yeah. It wasn't until Job Corps that I had started getting confidence, but it wasn't really till the Navy. And even though I still was having my secret life.
But what was it about the Navy?
I met my pack.
Okay, and so that was your family. That was your family who gave you the confidence. And so to bring it back, I feel like, and it really does trouble me, and it bothers me. I know not growing up, but once I came home from college, I moved in with my best friend where we had an apartment together, and he ended up wanting to take in a whole bunch of
I started a whole house. Who was the mother? Was you the mother?
Of young people who were kicked out of their house or abandoned by their mom or dad and said that they can't. And it always bothered me so much that you can disown your child because of his or her sexual preference, when I don't feel like a gay person should have to come out, because straight people don't ever come out, right? You just accept them for who they are. I don't even think it's about tolerating anybody anymore. I think it's about accepting a person for who they are, because that doesn't change who they are at all. It doesn't change who they are. And so I feel like we have to really, especially in the African American community, right? It's something that is so shunned, and you're going to hell, and especially if you grew up in church.
Ooh, child.
Right? And I love church and I love the Lord. Do I think I'm going to hell? No, I don't. And that's a whole different story, okay? Because that'll keep us going all night. But I think that we have to be more accepting and show more love and understanding. Yeah. And if your child comes to you and tells you that they're gay, they're coming to you for the acceptance that it's okay, right? The confidence has to be built at home, because the world is going to beat them down, honey. I'm like, it still also creates that bond between a parent and a child. Yes. Because if I can come to my mom or dad and say, hey, this is who I am, this is how I feel, and they're like, oh my God, it doesn't matter, I love you, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like that creates a bond for life, because that lets me know that I can go to my parent and talk to them about everything. Like even still to this day, like I'll still talk to my mom about whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it was a little bit of a hard pill for her to swallow when I came and said, Mom, hey. I'm not exactly sure why though, right? Because I'm like, your mom and your dad, trust me, already knows.
Right, but the thing about it is this. We don't know, because for one, we don't have a parent's view, right? So what I can take away from is just other people saying this. yes, it's okay. Like, your parent can accept you for who you are, right? Sometimes, in most cases. But they still have that thought, again, in the forefront of their mind of, this is my son. And my son is going to have a wife. And my son is going to have children. And my son is going to be able to carry on that name. You know what I mean? And when you come and you say, oh, well, I'm gay.
That doesn't have to change any of those things.
Listen to what I'm saying.
You're not going to have a
right.
But you might.
You might. A lot of people do.
Might.
But it changes that thought pattern. Because it's like, we shook that up. And then to now come and say, oops, well, girl, she's a girl. You know what I'm saying? But babe, like, you gotta realize we're not parents,
right?
And we can't distort or take away from anybody else's view.
I'm not, but I get what you're saying, right? I get it, right? You have these thoughts that I'm going to, have a daughter-in-law or a son-in-law, whatever the case may be, right? And then it's a disappointment. But guess what? They're not the only person that's ever been disappointed, right? I'm sure that your mom or your dad has disappointed you sometimes in your life, right? It didn't go the way that you thought it was going to go for them, right? And so, but you still accepted them, you still loved them, and it wasn't even a big issue. I just say that I feel like everybody needs to be a bit more accepting, a bit more understanding, and I promise it's going to be okay. It really is going to be okay, but what's not okay is for you to disown your child, for you to keep your child out of the house, for you to make your child feel like he or she is not, worthy of your love, worthy of acceptance, worthy of...
Because at the end of the day, too, even like you were saying a lot, as far as in the Christian community, right? What I think people fail to do is, one, put themselves in everybody else's shoe. I always try to do that. For two, you can't preach a word that only God can judge me, and then you turn around and judge.
Right. Well, that's typically.
But I'm just saying, you lose that sight, though.
Right.
I'm not. Not you.
Yeah,
I'm just saying in general.
I know you're not talking about me,
point
but I'm saying that's been in the Christian world forever. Right. Yes. They're casting stones and all of those things, and that is another topic.
We got a lot of topics.
Honey, we're gonna be here every other day, probably. But
I think that's why what I love about RuPaul, the drag race, and just the person in general, because that platform allows people to open up about those moments in their lives, because I
don't hear them.
Yeah, without that, like I never, on any platform, hear people saying, "Oh my God, this happened to me. This is my story," and I think it allows the world to open up and see, because even straight people, I know some straight people, honey, out here watching RuPaul's Drag Race, and I think it's like, oh God, like that could be my kid.
It could be what I'm saying, and I almost feel like a lot of times when you are that you have this mindset of my kid or my child would never be gay. That might be one cross that you end up having to bear, because it really does show who you are at the end of the day, right? And what you will do as a parent. I think that, yes, nobody wants their child to be gay. Why? I'm not sure. I think there's a lot of amazing gay people out in this world, right? And so, just like it's a lot of amazing straight people out in this world.
Oh, it really, most definitely.
Yeah, and so I just don't understand why, being gay is a death sentence, or it's something
it's just
terrible.
It's a stigma, just like being black,
Yeah,
I hate to say that, but
it's the truth.
But it's a thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm glad we have come so far, and we have miles and miles and miles more to go. Don't get it twisted. Ain't nothing changed.
We come from somewhere, honey, but we ain't been that far.
Yeah, the mask is different, but it's still there. But I love that you have moments that you can see on TV now of things that touch your spirit.
That resonates with you.
Yeah. And the fact that you felt something deeply.
I did. I felt, for me, I think with the Anitra story, it was because we hear a lot, and I've actually seen it where I have had friends who just don't want to come out to their family, right? Who don't want to come out and say, just be honest with who they are. I've seen that, but I think with the Nitra story, what touched me the most was that she was told it was okay to come out and be who you are, right? And then a week later, she's like, "Oh no, honey, we cannot deal. We cannot. You gotta go." And I think it's a double whammy. It's like, oh my God.
Because when we talked about that, I asked you, because I said, honey, in 15 seasons.
And that's not even including all of the other spin-offs and shows that she's had. Because RuPaul is doing the thing.
Yes, honey. RuPaul girl, call me.
Call me.
I asked.
I'm gonna be part of the pit crew.
Honey, I'm gonna be a judge. I'm gonna be a judge.
I can be a judge. Yes. Okay, come on. Let's stay on track because I'm always that person.
Right, but you are. But I said, well, out of 15 seasons, what is it about this? I said, because I've heard some gut-wrenching stories about certain things, and I said, was it the fact that out of, a lot of the other queens and contestants, like, if you guys please do yourself a favor and go look at this episode, the way she broke down, not just while she was having that conversation, but in that confessional. You know what I mean? And again, I say my heart, I don't know why I've hardened a lot. That's another conversation. But I said, well, why is it this particular story?
And I said that it wasn't because she was bawling her eyes out, because it was not. Let me tell you, I am, and in that sense, I'm hardened, right? Because I don't do a lot of crying. She's the one that does all the crying. Now, if we're in person and I see people just bawling, like, I don't know, sometimes.
Because I have been bawling, honey.
She bawling because of something she watching on TV that ain't real. So then I'm like, okay, girl. No, that's not rude. And so, but it wasn't that, but it was just the fact that I just want to see, especially all of our children in this world, right? I'm not blessed to be a parent yet. I hope that that's the case one day soon, but I would like to believe that no matter what, right, I'm going to be there for my child and love my child and build my child up, honey, and that they don't have to ever worry. They're gonna always know that I have their back, and they're gonna have the confidence to walk out the door, whether they're gay, whether they're straight, whether they are trans, whatever, honey. I don't care if they want to wear a blue shoe and a red shoe.
Now, girl, I'm lying.
I'm
probably you lying.
Like, honey, let's pull it together just a little bit, right? But I will let my child be who my child is going to be, and I just encourage everybody to do that and to challenge themselves to love their child in a way that, it surpasses all understanding, right? And it just makes sense. And I guarantee that what people see in you is going to rub off, and the world will be better and get better one person at a time. And so it just really, that's all I have to say about it.
Well, I'll say this. Let's make a better challenge. We challenge you, whether you gay, straight, bisexual, transgender, to teach the world it's okay to be who you are. Not just if it's just your child, but just a stranger on the street.
Stranger on the street.
Just show kindness,
because
nephew, you never know what a person is going through. Just anybody. This one here will be walking down the street and just say hey to everybody. I'm not that one. I'm gonna be nice, but I'm gonna let you know. But I feel like just be kind.
Each one, teach one.
Be kind.
Right? And if we all did
one
that,
another,
it would be a better world.
I think we're gonna get there. I think we are.
Eventually, maybe. But
I will say this. So next week, guys, we'll have a special treat for you. So we want you guys to start leaving comments first, okay? And I'm going to have a special treat because I'm going to start answering some of these questions. And you'll see how we answer what I pull it out of, okay? So it's going to be a special treat so you guys don't want to miss it. It's pretty.
Okay,
it's pretty.
It's pretty special.
How she said, this guy in my DM said I'm pretty. I'm pretty.
Oh, that's good.
But anyway,
it's beautiful.
Yes,
honey.
Well, we had an amazing time with you guys. We love you. I'm your girl Dominique,
and I'm your boy Julius, and we love you. And there's absolutely nothing that you can do about it.
Nothing. Welcome to the new Glamroom, honey. We look forward to seeing you next week. Bye bye. Hey, it's your girl Dominique.
And your boy Julius.
Alright guys, if you loved this week's episode or last week, don't forget to hit that like button, share, leave a comment, and subscribe, baby.